May the blessings of the Holy Trinity be with all of you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Please be seated. Just a few short words on the Feast of the Exaltation of the Cross. You know, it's become popular in Western Christianity to not show the cross. We don't want to offend. Or we don't want Jesus on the cross because we learn that He is resurrected and He is no longer on the cross. So why do we continue to show the cross? Why do we continue to have the crucifixion where Christ is on the cross? And there's this beautiful contrast. If we go back to Genesis and the garden, we hear there are two trees in particular, the tree of knowledge of good and evil and the tree of life. And it was in the midst of the garden. And God told Adam and Eve to stay away from, God told Adam and Eve, do not eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, for that day you will surely die. And there's this idea, but the tree of life is there. And after they ate the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, the angel said unto God that they shouldn't stay in the garden lest they eat the fruit of life. And so they were cast out of the garden, and the angel was set to guard the doors with the flaming fire. In a way, we can often think of that they will surely die or begin to die, or the fact that Adam and Eve die as a punishment for eating the fruit of the tree of knowledge. But I don't see it as a punishment, merely a consequence of what is to happen if we break the rule. But also, why not let them eat the fruit of the tree of life? Well, from eating the fruit from the tree of knowledge, they broke their covenant with God. God gave them one commandment: don't eat the fruit. In a way, He said, the whole garden is yours. You can eat anything but the fruit of knowledge of good and evil. And in a way, there's got to be some kind of boundary to know that you are within the boundary or you're exceeding the boundary. And the first rule was a fast. Fast from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And in a way, I know you are my people, and you know you're my people because you're following the rule. So we have this one rule, and the consequence, which they knew ahead of time, is that you will begin to die. And so, why not eat the fruit of the tree of life? Well, the angel said, lest they live forever, separated from you, within this, outside of the covenant, with this broken relationship, to live eternally. And so God said, you shall, from the earth you have come, to the earth you shall return. That you should not stay in this state of being cut off eternally, had you lived forever. So death was a way of ending the separation of God and man. So whatever happens to the tree of life, it's in the midst of the garden. But we hear throughout the hymns of the service tonight, the cross is the life-giving cross. And that Christ dies on the cross, granting life into the world. We can draw a line to understand that the tree of life is the cross. And what might the fruit of the tree of life look like? It looks like Jesus hanging on the cross. We feed on His flesh and blood for eternal life. That upon the cross, upon the tree lies the fruit of life, eternal life, that we find in Jesus Christ through the Eucharist, through Holy Communion. And so it wasn't eternally cut off from us, but as the time appropriate to God, He sends His only begotten Son. We read that 2 weeks ago during liturgy. He sends His only Son, that those who believe in Him, though they die, they may live, they may have eternal life. And it's not just believing in Him, but it's also communing with Him, eating the fruit of the tree of life. And so we have this comparison, and you can think, why did Adam and Eve go to the tree of knowledge of good and evil? The serpent tricks Eve, and Eve says as she looks upon the tree that it looked good to her. She saw the fruit and said, this looked good to me. Why didn't she have this same kind of response to the tree of life? Because I don't think that looks good to anybody. Nobody wants to look upon a corpse on a tree, let alone a cross. It's not as beautiful as what the tree of knowledge probably looked like. But our call is to return to the tree of life. And as we celebrate the Feast of the Exaltation of the Cross, St. Helen and St. Constantine, they find the cross, they erect it in Jerusalem, and then the known Christian world came to Jerusalem to the cross, to kneel, as the musician David says, that we will worship at the footstool of Christ. And they rededicate their lives in faith to Jesus Christ. They rededicate it every time they receive Holy Communion as a way of feasting upon the fruit of the tree of life. When we look upon the cross, we should not think of a man who was murdered for us, but a man who gave his life that we may have eternal life. I remember when my children were very young and they looked at the cross and they said, "It looks like he's sleeping." He's sleeping. Like the crucifixion in the Orthodox tradition doesn't show a battered Christ. He's not bloodied up. He's not brutalized. Metropolitan Isaiah says this emphasizes the voluntary nature of Christ's sacrifice. That he voluntarily went to the crucifixion. He voluntarily suffered the passion, the beatings, the scourgings. He did this voluntarily. And as a beautiful icon on the cross, it shows his wounds, but his appearance is as if he's asleep. And we understand as he dies, he descends into Hades, and on the third day he rises. His sleep of death was only temporary, as he said to his disciples about Lazarus, "He is asleep." And they're like, "Oh, he will wake up." And he's like, and he will wake up in the resurrection. And so we can rejoice at seeing at the cross and not think, "Oh, he's no longer on the cross." But that is the fruit of the tree of life. That we can look upon it, take courage, renew our faith, be strengthened in our hope that as Christ gave himself, he gives himself to us, that we may have that eternal life. Adam and Eve, as we see in the resurrection, are restored because of the fruit of the tree of life. We sing it is our trophy. It's a symbol of victory. What once used to be the symbol of persecution and oppression and death is restored to be a tree of life, that we may have eternal life in Jesus Christ. God bless you all for joining us tonight. We will have Orthros tomorrow at 9, Divine Liturgy at 10. So please join us. And then we'll have Vespers, Great Vespers, tomorrow evening at 5. So be a good day at church. God bless you all. We'll have the cross for presentation tomorrow at the Divine Liturgy, the cross of Christ.